Hey, I hope you are well. So today I'm going to look at a couple of features in the SY200 that don't seem to be completely clear and have all of the information available. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the memory extent. I have mentioned this before in another video, but I'm going to give you a better example this time. So firstly, what is the memory extent? Basically, there are 128 presets in the pedal, and you can use this button to scroll through them all, or you can scroll through them here. Now that's pretty impractical in a live setting if you don't have a quick access way to get through those 128 presets, like a MIDI controller. So what they've done is that you can set it so that the maximum memory can be 1 to whatever. So for example, 5, and then you can just scroll through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's gonna go straight back to number 1, and it's easy access. Let's have a look. So in order to get to the memory extent, we wanna press our little menu button there, scroll across to page 2, press System, and then also scroll across to page 2, and here it is, memory extent minimum, memory extent maximum. Now the default comes from 1 to 128. Now this only applies to the memory button down here. If you scroll on here, it's going to ignore it and go through anyway. So rather than going through 128 presets, let's bring it all the way down to number 5. Now before I move on, handy little tip, if you press in the toggle switch and then turn it, it cycles up in values of 10, which is very handy for quick movement. Now then obviously single back to 5. So then we've set it up to 5, you don't need to save that. That is across the board. Now like I said, that on here doesn't affect it, but if we use the little memory button down here, I'll pick it up and show you. Whoop, press, we're going to 5, and we're straight back to number 1. So it is that easy. If you don't want to recall on some kind of MIDI patch, you can just do it this way and cycle through your top, in this case, top 5. So when you get your SY200, you'll notice that the 128 presets are set out in a specific order, but they do not have to stay that way. You can move things around, you can adjust your presets, and you can make it work the way that you want to make it work. So just because patch 1 is a lead, it doesn't have to be. It can be an arpeggio or a bass or whatever you want it to be. Now saving presets is actually very, very easy. All you need to do is press these two buttons here at the same time. Press right. You've got the target. We want to press enter here. Now this is the memory thing. It's also enter and push. So push that one. Enter, you can change the name, press it again, executing, and it is saved. So let's say I have 5 top presets that I want. We're using that in memory extent, remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I really want this dirty organ to be in that top 5, and I don't want my, let's say, soft pad. So what we can do is we follow the right process again, but this time we're going to exchange. Soft pad is no longer going to be there. We're going to change that. We're going to target the dirty organ. Executing. And now my soft pad has been moved to 6, and my dirty organ is now saved to preset number 4. Now, even though it still has knobs, this is a digital pedal, so you still need to write all of those parameters to the patch. You can't just tweak it and then go to a different one and expect it to be the same. All of the knobs are not going to match up. It's a preset, so you got to treat it like a preset pedal. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. If I just change the values of these knobs here, let's turn the direct level to 100 and the effect level to 0. Wait for it to come out. Now, if I do not write this patch, the knobs are not going to be saved at that value. They're going to be saved at the preset, the way the preset is saved. So we come off it, and we change the values of the knob. We'll put it back to 50. And we'll leave that one down at 0. And we'll go back to patch number 5. Now watch the direct level. I've got it set at 50. Now remember I moved it to 100. It's back down to 0. Now the knobs do respond immediately as soon as you touch them. So if I move that, now it's at 50. That's because the knobs are here for easy access only. They do not dictate exactly what it's supposed to do all of the time. You still need to write the patch into it. So now let's go 30 and 50. Now to write that, all I do is just follow the process that we talked about before. Save, execute. And now I'll only affect the effect level. Direct level is now at 30 where we saved it. Boom. Now, of course, the way they're set out, you do not have to keep it this way at all. If you want to change anything, you can change this. You can make this detuned string an arpeggio instead. Find the thing you like, do blah, blah, blah. And then as you go through and do the right process, press right, and you can change the name here. So press execute here, and it takes you to this page, and you just use the little toggle wheels to change across here. So you got the character, that takes you to the position that you need, and this is capitals or numbers or whatever you would like that to be. There it is. Very good.
Now, since shooting this video, I have actually realized that there is already a firmware update on the Boss website, so make sure you check out which firmware you have in your pedal.
And how we do that is we hold our menu button down as we plug in, and as that comes up, it's going to show us that we don't have the right firmware, 1.00, and the new firmware is actually 1.02. I'm going to check that out in another video, and we'll see what happens, hey? And just lastly, talking about the knobs, obviously this is going to be on your pedal board and you're going to be aiming for these buttons, but if you're like me and you've got a big fat foot, every once in a while you're going to press and your foot's going to bump something and you're going to move the knobs around and it's going to muck up your preset. Boss have thought about that and they've given us a little lock option, much like the GT1000 Core or like the DD200, and I'm assuming all of the other 200 series pedals. So obviously if I'm going to tweak some knobs, things are going to move, but if I now hold down the exit button, everything is now locked and I cannot tweak anything and I can stomp away like a madman. So there we have it, a couple of minor features in the SY200 that actually make a world of difference. It's all in there. This pedal's fantastic. It sounds awesome and you can get some really cool tones. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. See you next time.